Hey everyone, I'm Nathan with the ebookreader.com. So let's do a comparison review between the 7.8-inch Likebook Mars and the 7-inch Kindle Oasis 2. So the Kindle Oasis obviously has a completely different style of design. It's very thin. It's got that different kind of shape with the contour on the back. It has the auto-adjusting sensor right there, so when you flip it over, you can use the buttons on the left or the right side of the screen. So mine has a skin on it right now. Normally it's just like that aluminum color, or you can get the gold one as well. So yeah, it's got a completely different style design as the Likebook. The Likebook's more like the Paperwhite. You got the indented screen. You got the USB port on the bottom and micro SD card slot. Also has headphone jack down there. So Kindle Oasis, they both have Bluetooth, so you can use a Bluetooth for audio books. They both have 300 ppi e-ink screens, the same e-ink Carta screen, so the quality is pretty similar. You got a little bit more control over the fonts on the Kindle, so it might look a little bit better. It's hard to tell from this video. So one difference with the Likebook is you can choose to use the warm color front light, so you got the cool or the warm. You can't blend them like you can on the Kobo, but you got the option to use either or. So with the Kindle, you just have the one color front light. So when it comes to the page turns, so this has normal and fast page turns. So when I use the fast page turns, I noticed a lot more ghosting. So I tend to keep it on this mode. So let's do kind of a quick page turn test. The Likebook's claim to fame is it's the first e-reader to use an octa-core processor. I mean, it does have some advantages at some points, but when it comes to reading books, it really has no advantage. As you can see right here, Kindle is just as fast to turn pages, if not faster. The Likebook is faster in certain respects, like when you increase the font size right there, it does it like right away. The Kindle's a little bit slower to adjust, but for most reading-based features, obviously having 8 cores really isn't going to be any kind of advantage at all. It's probably just going to drain more battery, if anything. But the advantage for that is like when you want to load in Android apps, this device is open to installing apps. So that's the default app, the reading app. It's not very good, to be honest. But you can load in these other apps. So like you can load in the Kindle app and use the Likebook as a 7.8-inch Kindle of sorts. But you got to understand that the app isn't designed for ink at all. So you're going to get like a lot more flashing when you're scrolling. And just the general performance of the Android app compared to the Kindle, it's not going to be nearly as fast in most respects. The Kindle also has a lot more options when it comes to the font choices because you can load in custom fonts. You also got the custom boldness slider here, so you can customize exactly how you want the text to look. Whereas with the Android app, you don't have any kind of boldness settings. You don't have the option to use custom fonts. And then when you're using the page turns here, so obviously it's going to be quicker on the Kindle because it's more optimized for ink, whereas the Android app, it's got a little bit of a page turn animation, but it actually works pretty well on the Likebook. It's definitely usable. But when you're comparing it directly to the Kindle, you got more features on the Kindle e-readers, and they're a little bit more streamlined for ink, but you still got a lot of features with the Android app. You got the multi-page view, you got X-ray, you got search. So all this stuff does work on the Likebook, just not quite as the refresh quality isn't quite as good as you're going to get on a dedicated Kindle. So it basically just comes down like the refreshing with the ink. So here's a look at the Oasis's inverted text mode, and you can see it's a lot clearer on the Oasis than it is when you're using the dark theme on the Kindle app of the Likebook, because you're not getting the same quality of refreshing. And it's kind of the same thing when it comes to comic books. So load up a comic on both of these. As you can see, the refresh animation using the comic app on the Likebook is a lot more jarring. It's not set up for ink at all, so you get a lot more after image effects. It just doesn't look nearly as crisp and clear. So look how clear the image is on the Oasis. And when you page forward, it refreshes every time, so you don't get any after images from the previous pages. Whereas if you're using the Android app on the Likebook, you're getting after images with every page turn. So the quality, it just isn't as good. It's like you're reading like a faded newspaper. And the more you turn pages, the more faded it looks. So one option with Likebooks is they have the A2 mode. So if you use the A2 mode here up on the menu bar, it won't do the refresh, but then it just makes it look worse because it just constantly just degrades the screen with each page turn because it's not refreshing at all. So you get like the faded paper effect. So again, it just sort of depends on your usage scenario. The Likebook is faster for certain things, and you can install a bunch of different apps on it. Like when it comes to scrolling and zooming, it does work a bit better with the extra cores on there, but it's a little bit smoother when you're zooming and scrolling in, a little bit faster here and there. But when it comes to the actual reading experience, it's hard to deny what like a dedicated Kindle with their ink optimized software, because that's the one thing about Android is the apps aren't optimized for ink at all. So here's a quick look at the same PDF on both of these devices. It's a different version of the PDF, so they're not exactly laid out the same. But you can see the images are darker on the Likebook for whatever reason. And you saw when I had the eBook app, you had the option to adjust the contrast for images and text, but you don't have that on PDFs for some reason. You can just adjust the contrast, but you do have some additional like zooming options with the PDF settings here, and this is the default app, of course. And so with the Kindle, you don't have really any kind of dedicated zoom mode, so you can double tap to zoom in, you can pinch zoom. But as you can see here, the page refresh, the Kindle does the full refresh every page with PDFs. So you're getting faster refresh on the Likebook. Loading the PDF, Kindle actually loads it faster. So again, ink optimized software is definitely an advantage over having more cores. So here's a quick look at the web browser. Definitely web browsing is a lot better on the Likebook than it is on the Kindle. The Kindle's always had really bad web browser. You'd think it'd even work well at Wikipedia, but you always have to zoom in because it does that weird half-page thing. And then scrolling on the Kindle's browser is always painful. It does that weird jaggedy thing. So definitely web browsing is an advantage for the Likebook. Text looks better. So when it comes to the default reading apps, the Kindle, obviously it's got a lot more. The software's been in the works for many years, so it's got a lot of more features. The Likebook, it's just a lot more basic. Recently, they added the custom font feature on Kindles, which is really nice. You can load in your custom fonts. So you can load in custom fonts on the Likebook as well. As you can see, I got Char Ink right there. And you've also got the contrast control on Kindles, so you can adjust the boldness exactly how you like it. And it's got some more advanced features like a vocabulary builder, a word-wise feature that shows definitions of harder words. And you can disable the touchscreen if you just want to use the page buttons. So it's got a lot of these different features that the Likebook doesn't have. So with the Likebook, you got this different contrast adjusting for words and pictures, which is kind of cool. You can adjust them separately. As you can see, though, that wasn't available in PDFs for some reason. You could only adjust the contrast. Frankly, I don't really like the Likebooks. The way it adds spaces between paragraphs, you can't fully get rid of that. The reading app is just not as refined. In the dictionary, it's stuck in Chinese. There doesn't seem to be any English option, and it messes with punctuation sometimes. So you can load in other apps with the Likebook. That's its huge advantage. I like Co-Reader a lot better than the default app. So I'll show that more in the Likebooks review. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video right here. Check out the ebookreader.com for full reviews of these devices. I'll be posting the Likebook review next. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.